up, everybody? True Boxing here. Thank you for coming back to get in with the truth. So today, going to discuss the recap from the Josh Warrington, Mauricio Lara rematch that took place. I want to say it was September 4th. It was a Saturday afternoon, and I want to take a look at what happened in that fight and the undercard. Talking about Conor Benn, undefeated welterweight. We'll discuss him first. So let's start with that. Give me 1 second. Conor Benn took on Adrian Granados on the undercard. You know, he's an undefeated prospect on the rise as Benn, and Granados, you know, always tough competitor, always ready to go, grinder, likes to brawl. Moving back up to welterweight to take on, you know, Ben, and this was a big test for Ben, you know, at this point in his career to see if he could continue moving by beating, you know, a guy that kind of a gatekeeper in Granados, but, you know, a guy, who at welterweight, he was better suited at junior welter, 140. But at welterweight, you know, he's a good... If you're ready for the next level, you can beat a guy like Granados, and you can beat him convincing. You know, Sean Porter got a convincing decision. Danny Garcia knocked Granados out. So Ben, he was, you know, we were going to see how good he really was, and he proved it. I mean, he went out there, he completely outboxed and worked hard and got a one-sided and clean unanimous decision, and now moves forward. So Conor Benn could start taking that next step. You know, that next step up, and we'll see what he does. You know, one fight that guys on the Facebook page I follow were throwing out there, you know, possible that I think is possible would be Virgil Ortiz Jr., who is with Golden Boy and DAZN, and, you know, could we see those two guys locking horns, you know, at some point? I think Eddie Hearn would probably keep him away from Virgil right now, but you never know if he's looking for an opponent. Why not, you know? Especially with most of the PBC guys, you know, fighting each other, and it being a PBC guy division, it might make more sense for them to lock up. But we'll see, you know, going forward, what Conor Benn decides to do. But a nice win for him on the undercard. But now let's talk about the main event. You had Mauricio Lara against Josh Warrington, the rematch. Their first fight back in February. Lara beat the shit out of Warrington, totally dominated him, and brutally knocked him out in the 9th round of that fight, laid him out flat on his back. And, you know, Lara was out to prove that, you know, that was a legit win. He's not a one-hit wonder. And Warrington was out for revenge, trying to get back in the title mix. And a loss, maybe that leads to retirement. But we got cut short. Sadly, after the 2nd round ended, a very bad cut was opened up on Lara from headbutts, where Warrington kept putting his head down and then shooting it up, and that was catching Lara. I don't think they were full-on intentional, but he wasn't really being cautious with his head either, let me say that. But the fight up to that point, you know, I gave Warrington the 1st round, and I gave Lara the 2nd round. I personally feel that Lara is just too strong for Josh Warrington. Warrington, you know, had his moments in those first 2 rounds, but Lara does not back up. Lara got caught too, but the thing is I don't think Warrington has that overwhelming power to stop Lara, and even if he hurts Lara, I don't think he can finish him before Lara's going to respond with his big shots. And I just think stylistically it's a bad matchup. So the bout went to a no contest, you know, because of the cut. It didn't finish 4 rounds to where they could score the fight. And, you know, sadly, we got robbed in the rematch. You know, I'm hoping a 3rd fight comes from this. We'll see, you know, what comes down. I know, you know, Warrington, he wasn't injured. He's talking about taking a tune-up bout in between a 3rd fight. And Lara just needs to heal his wound, you know, because I really think Lara's going to win the 3rd fight if they get back in the ring which I think they will. I don't see why they wouldn't. But, you know, Warrington definitely didn't do anything in this fight to prove that he got his revenge or he was well on his way to win. No, and if anything, the second round, Lara, even with that cut, you know, had won the second round. So, you know, we'll see what happens going forward between these two guys. Disappointing, you know, it really was. But, you know, I got a good glimpse that I really just don't think Warrington's going to be able to keep Lara off of him. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if these two guys can lock horns one more time. But that's it. That's the recap from the Josh Warrington, Mauricio Lara rematch DAZN card that took place on Saturday, September 4th. Hope you enjoyed it. True Boxing. You've been hit with the truth.